See, we're going to move on to Chris Brown. When we come back, Chris Brown finally out, and he's with another woman. That's right. Even after Rihanna, sorry, not Rihanna, after Karrueche, well, after Rihanna and Karrueche accused him of domestic abuse.
You've heard about the Rihanna abuse, the Karrueche abuse. At least what she's alleging is pretty shocking.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. There is at least one woman who is willing to give Chris Brown another chance. Not his ex-girlfriend, but we got Chris out last night with a new woman, which is just surprising. The same week that his ex-girlfriend Karrueche Tran gets a restraining order against him.
Accuses him of kicking her in the stomach in the past, throwing her down a flight of stairs, saying that he threatened to kill her, to shoot her, and he is now prohibited from being near her. Reagan, just before we roll the video, show Karrueche one more time. Watch this woman in the car that he's with, because I see a similarity.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chris, what's up with the restraining order, bro? Come on. Is there any truth to the restraining order, Chris? Would you like to comment on it?
I don't know, Harv. Well, he's not talking about the restraining order.
He is
I
not
can't see her.
No,
put your hand down, buddy. I
saw something earlier. She looks a little bit like her to me.
Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
No.
You just want to,
I see more Aaliyah, actually.
Whatever Van says, it's because he's angry at me.
I'm not angry at you at all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like a Darren from Bewitched situation.
No,
like,
it's not.
It is. It's
well,
like,
first of all,
wow.
a lot of people
Shout
never
out to
knew
Darren.
there was a switch out in Darren.
If y'all didn't know that there was a switch in Darren's, then y'all need to be paying more. There's a whole different dude that came.
All right, so we're done with Bewitched. Let's get back to Chris, who is...
It's still interesting to me, and once again, you guys know I don't like to moralize, but just from a standpoint of safety and the way that this looks, that so quickly after hearing about all of these allegations, that Chris will be back on the scene with the different chick. You're just wondering, kind of like what's going through her head a little bit.
It's almost like I'm not really. I hear what you're saying, Van, and I'm not surprised because this is Hollywood, and Chris is a very successful,
famous, talented,
famous guy.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be someone who wants to be next to him, and they're willing to say.
You got Rihanna, who was beaten up in the passenger seat. Now you got Karrueche saying she was also brutalized, and apparently, listen, if Karrueche is
only convicted of one.
I understand.
Convicted of one. We should say that.
By the way, hold on. I didn't want to make that sound like the one was okay.
I understand.
It's not okay at all.
If Karrueche is telling the truth, if she is telling the truth, then he would have done this while he was on probation in the Rihanna
case, right?
And that makes it particularly troubling, I think.
Right, because then you look at someone who has something hanging over their head, but just cannot control the rage beast inside them. Yeah.
And he was taking anger management classes at the time and the whole deal.
But I will say this, like we said before, it's Hollywood. There are a lot of people out here that are in this town specifically to be in the realm, in the halo of guys like Chris Brown.
Maybe so, but Van, if she's telling the truth, and I'm saying if, and he did it again while he was on probation, he's going to be in trouble at some point.
But the next woman always says, "I'll take my chances. It won't happen to me."
But
I know. I hear what you're saying. I agree with you, but that's the thought process.
JeanPhilippe, Atlanta, Georgia. I just hope that this young lady, is safe, and that Chris Brown, if these allegations are true, because we don't know, because the burden of proof remains to be seen, that Chris Brown, if they are true, that he just goes and get the proper help he needs psychologically, so that he isn't perpetuating violence, because at the end of the day, he has a daughter, and I'm quite sure he doesn't want other men beating on his daughter, so he needs to set a better example, at least as a father for his child.
Yeah, that is a good point, that now Chris has a daughter, and you would think that somewhere that he remembers that when these situations come up, and think about how we'd want her to be treated.
Okay, we are going to move.